welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another day, the second broadcast here, the second qualifier of the Esports World Cup, the EWC 2025 European Open Qualifier. A moment as I get my camera up and running. But welcome one and all. Of course, just VIP with you. I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all to our second qualifier of the day, our third broadcast of the day in total here, as we have our fresh series ready for us. I do apologize for the delays. to the stream, but lastly, bracket took a while to get seated. There were some technical issues as well, but now we are here. Now we are back, and we are raring to go. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of lane lines, we have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player himself. It is GG Machine. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Team Liquid. It is Mana. And there's just so much to go over. But thank you so much, Ian in the chat, Ian M7, for the gifted subs to the community. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate the support. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. Hope you enjoy the content, hope you enjoy the casting, hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Likewise, not just Ian M7, but also we did get a resubscription as well earlier when we went live. So thank you so much to our resubscribers. Thank you so much for the support. Likewise, big shout out to Dave Testa as well. Oh mate Dave, he did give us a raid, so I hope you had a great stream, hope you had a great ladder session, hope you had a great time, and welcome to the European EWC qualifier. This is the second EWC qualifier of the day. We were live earlier with the Asia qualifier, now we're here with Europe, and later on tonight is going to be the Americas qualifier. Wouldn't be surprised if Dave Testa was a part of that, Chicken Man, Steadfast, and some of the other NA casters, so do look forward to that. That's going to be later on in the evening. For now, though, we have our match. Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is very stacked. The bracket is massive. For those that are curious, it is top 8. Top 8 qualify for the closed qualifier. So what does that mean? Qualifying matches are best of 5s, so the round of 16 is where best of 5s occur. So the bracket itself is large, but there aren't that many rounds to go through. There are 3 rounds in total. Again, round of 16 is where qualifying matches do occur, and we are already in the round of 32. If you're in the chat, predictions, they would have closed by now, but you can place your bets on who you think will claim the series. But here we go. We are settling into this for the time being. We do have a standard opener, hatch gas pool out of GG Machine, a standard opener out of our Zerg player. Likewise, do have a gate expanded to Cybercore out of Mana. So far, so good. Stargate opener as well. Now, Mana, he is known for one thing and one thing only in this matchup. That is Stargate opener into Archon drop. This is a build, this is a style that Mana has, I almost want to say perfected, but has really relied upon and has found a lot of success here against some top Zerg players. We've seen Mana take down the best of the best players as of late. I don't know what it is about Mana, but recently has been peaking. Mana, he recently did defeat Clem, recently beat Max Pax as well. Mana beating some top Koreans, some top Europeans. It's insane to see Mana just pop off and bring them down. A lot of it based off of his builds, a lot of it based off of his unit control as well, his micro, and we'll see what he can bring to the table here with this qualifier. I'll be honest, seeing Mana in recent weeks, in recent months, and seeing the players that he's brought down, I want to say Mana's favorite. He's favored to qualify, at least for the closed qualifier, maybe even further than that. Until then though, we do threaten the shade. Again, GG Machine, he's more of a younger up-and-comer. We have one of the youngest players in the scene up against one of the oldest players, actually. Mana's been around for a very long time, but it's great to see him peaking and competing and still able to contest against the best players in the world, even here and now in 2025. Mana has been a beast as of late. And for now, the Oracle is moving out. Their base is being taken. But again, as we mentioned, we are waiting for the Robo. Yep, there it is. Robo's been thrown down. Robo follow-up screams Archon drop. As we mentioned, like Mana, he almost exclusively goes for Archon drop openers, specifically in PvZ. It is a bit of a slower style. It's a little bit less aggressive early on, but it does snowball out of control as Lings, they do get in. Ooh, Lings, they do flood into the main base. The wall was not a wall. Oracle does respond, but Lings, they do get a free scout into the main base. They confirm the Robo, they confirm the Twilight Council, and GG Machine, he knows. Even without scouting, I'm sure in the back of his mind he was thinking of the Archon drop. Again, if we know that Mana's known for this, then GG Machine, everyone knows, really. And he just confirms. It does confirm with the Lings. Gets 2 probes, not bad. 2 workers do go down. And with that, we'll see where we go from here. Again, GG Machine just going to be droning, saturating, going to early +1 melee, into Ling Hydra should be the composition of choice. But again, mana, as we mentioned, a Robo Opener into War Prism, into Twilight Council, into Temple Archives, into Archon Drop. It all leads into Archon Drop. This is a way to get some damage done across the map, to maintain map control, deny creep, hunt down Overlords. It's a really strong way to start, of course. The downside, as you can imagine, is that you do have a little bit less finesse that Blink Stalkers would otherwise provide you. And this does head towards Charge or Archon into Storm, into a robust, slower, but a hefty ground-based composition. Lings get us around. They do pick off 2 Adepts. Nice catch here from GG Machine. He moves out. As he moves out, the Oracles have to respond. Meanwhile, the Prism does not back off. Here come those High Templar. Here come the Archons. Lings, they get across the map. Well, they do take down the Shield Battery. Not bad. Shield Battery does fall. Lings, they do get 3, 4 probe kills across the map, 5 probe kills, and the Archon Drop is upon us. Again, it's going to be Archon Drop into Charge. As you can see, the downside as well is that your ground army is lacking. There's very little on the ground early on here to protect, to defend. You're relying heavily here on these 2 Archons, and that does supply block GG Machine. It is going to be supply blocked. Base taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage, but so far the Queens are keeping up. Prism going for the Zealot Warp in. Charge is not yet done. These are going to be slow lots. They're here just to buffer, just to support. And so far trading well against the Lings. The Lings are going down. Can he get any Queens though? Yeah, the Prism has to be careful, has to pull away. We're running out of Transfuse. I believe that was the final Transfuse. 2 Queens go down. Ooh, 3 Queens, 4 Queens. The kill count is stacking up. Going for another Warp in. 4 Queen kills, 4 Queens, all the Lings, and the expansion. And just like that, Mana, he breaks through the defensive line, takes down the base as well. Brutal pickoffs at the same time. Oracle here towards that natural, can go for the stasis. As Mana is not done, dropping into the main. There's that stasis. Stasis here at the mineral line. Archon's forced to pick up, but the efficiency for Mana has been insane. Has he lost anything? He's lost Zealots and a handful of probes to Ling run by earlier. But so far, better trades for Mana. Ooh, saves both Archons, just barely, gets behind the Zealots. Again, you don't need Charge to buffer for your army. The army comes to you. So again, so far, just very nice movement here from Mana. Very nice positional play, as we did mention. That's where Mana does excel. With a handful of units, he does out-control. He does push forward, going for another massive warp in. Takes out another Queen. And now, Charge is done. You saw what Mana could do without Charge. Now with Charge, he collapses on those Hydras. Hydras are going down. The boys are being pulled. The boys are being pulled into Archons, though. Oh, 1 Archon finally goes down. Yeah, we do see the Prism was just a little bit too late there, and GG Machine, he holds. GG Machine, he does hold on. He does survive, but he took so many losses. At least he kills 1 Archon. He got 1. And he traded with the Zealots, but these are still better trades for Mana. And behind this, he's not all in. Like, bear that in mind. Like, this is an opener. Like, the Archon Drop is just an opener. Did commit with Zealots, that's true, but it was worth it. And behind it, now taking gases, now claiming a 4th base, going for another Stasis Trap, catching out 2 more drones. And behind this, we should be working towards Storm. I say working towards, Storm is already done. So now we have the Charge Archon Storm follow-up out of Mana. The follow-up is here. And GG Machine, he's in a rough position. He's now moving out. He has to commit, but Storm does connect. And at least he's now aware. Storm is revealed. Immediately, Lurkerden. Lurkerden is on the way, so GG Machine is going to try to turtle. And, I mean, if he can get to Lurkers, then he can destabilize. That is true, but the problem is that there's a massive window. There's a massive window where GG Machine doesn't have Lurkers. And without Lurkers, Mana can stumble out of control. He can stumble out of control, he can kill. He can just go for the kill. He can go for the throat. More Archons morph in. Now moving forward. Storm behind this. Speaking of, he doesn't want to waste it though. Yes, 2 storms. Ooh, nice storm on the high. Oh my god. Oh, the brutal storms. Yeah, the latest storms. Every Hydra goes down. There's 2 Hydras remaining. GG gets called, and Mana will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Get a solid start here out of Mana. And again, this is what he's known for. If you've been watching Mana over the past 6 months, you've seen this before. We've seen this before. We've casted this before. That is why we did call this earlier. Again, Stargate Opener, Oracle, into Robo, into Archon Drop is Mana's speciality. It's something that he's made his own, and it's something that he does best. Oh boy, he's even taken on players like Serral with this before. I want to say at the start of the year. I could be crazy. I say take down, like taking a map, I mean. Not necessarily a series. But this can be a terrifying style to play against, can be very intimidating, especially if you skip roaches. As we saw there, winding it back a little bit, as a reminder, GG Machine, what did he go for? He went for early Evo Chamber into +1 melee into Ling Hydra. What does that mean? No banelings, no roaches. So your army is very fragile. Your army is very fragile. So specifically against an Archon drop kind of style, your army is vulnerable to that kind of style. So it does punish these more greedier builds and greedier play. Now, after game 1, I would imagine that GG Machine is going to play Roach instead. Roaches are more robust, Roaches are more efficient against that kind of army, they're a little bit more tankier, and they can take some hits. They're a little bit of a safer way to build up into the mid game, against especially Charger Archon. But here we go. Here we go, we're getting into our next game, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Persephone, we have our red Zerg player. We have a red Zerg down in the series. We'll see if we can bounce out. We'll see if we can force the ace match. It is GG Machine. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is Mana. Here we go. When I was thinking of the top Zerg players that Mana's brought down with this, Rogue comes to mind. That was over the weekend. Mana did defeat Rogue. Once again, relying on this more drop heavy or this Archon drop follow-up style. Did defeat him in a best of 3, of course. So already one of the best Zerg players in the world going down. Likewise, I spoke about Serral. Yes, Mana did force Serral to the ace match also with this style as well. Again, it takes down Lambo. Mana, he's a threat to, mate, if you can take maps off of Serral, if you can take a series off of Rogue, then mate, there's not many Zerg players that Mana's afraid of. Let me just say that. Not many Zergs is he afraid of. Even Serral, nah, he'll stare him down. He'll stare him down. Let's go. But as we mentioned, the style and the composition that GG Machine was going for specifically is vulnerable to the Archon drop follow-up or the Archon drop build. So from here, I would imagine blind roaches would make the most sense. I say blind because there's a high chance that Mana's just going to go for the same build. Of course, it'll be on GG Machine to confirm, and last game he did confirm. We'll see what he goes for. But now, going to be joining up. Now we are going to be joining up, saturating our bases. And it is going to be, once again, the Stargate opener from Mana. And again, we're expecting Stargate into third base into Robo. If he deviates from that, then we'll take note of it, and we'll yell out. Well, he'll be crazy, man. He'll be crazy. From the side of GG Machine, there are certain timings where we do expect to see tech, around 4 minutes and then around 5 minutes. So we'll see if GG Machine goes for a layer first opener, once again, Evo Chamber first, or if he goes into Roaches. Go. So now we are going to be joining on up. We are going to be saturating. Meanwhile, Mana hunting down the first Overlord. Not bad. He won't quite get the kill. The Overlord should be able to get to the pillar in time. Is going to be safe. Overlord does survive. We can see Mana looking for another Overlord. Doesn't quite find one. Not yet. Still being cheeky though with this first Stalker. Lings are revealed. Link speed is still a ways away, so Mana, he can freely kite. Now the Adept has arrived as well, so nice pickles here from Mana. Behind this here comes the Oracle. And we are waiting for that. There it is. Take of choice, Robo. So Robo follow-up. So once again, this does scream Archon drop. It's going to be Robo into Twilight Council, into Temple Archives, into Archon drop with a War Prism first out of Mana. Meanwhile, the Oracle arrives and the Overlord is hunted down. So nice pick off. GG Machine is supply blocked. And once again, do you see what I see? Evo Chamber. Remember, just like last game, fast Evo Chamber typically signifies +1 melee, typically signifies Ling into Hydra. Now, if we see melee, yep, there it is, melee's on the way. Now, even though G Machine had a really hard time against the composition, against the Archons, the Zealots, against all things Protoss last game, he can adjust by throwing down a Baneling Nest. Like Banelings and like Link Queen, Baneling does fare a little bit better here. G Machine, of course, he did skip his Roaches and he skipped his Baneling Nest last game, but here he might adjust, he might go for the Nest as well, just to help out against that those Zealot reinforcements, against that Zealot's attack. Overlord is going to be zoned away. Back behind this, Temple Archives on the way, as we mentioned, again, for the High Templar, for the Archons. GG Machine, he does see the Robo. He's aware. He is aware. Lings, they get an Adept. There it is. Safety Roach Horn. Okay. So this time, safety Roach Horn out of GG Machine. He's still ideally, like, plus one melee tells us that most likely he wants to skip Roaches if possible. He won't. He'll have to invest into them. But ideally he wants to skip Roaches and go into Hydras. Thankfully, he does have access to Roach production, unlike the previous game. And here come the Archons. The drop is coming. Meanwhile, GG Machine has just been droning, just been saturating. Drop is coming in. Oracle on the right hand side. Oracle does distract the Queens. And we have 4 safety Roaches on the way. Nice interception. Very nice. And the Oracle does go down. A solid movement here from GG Machine. Solid positioning. Meanwhile, the Archon drops does get into the mineral line. So far, getting 3 drones. Even going for the Spore. Does allow the Prism to have more access to the main. But Roaches are revealed. There we go. Roaches are revealed. Queens are going to be moving in. And Mana, he has to get out of here. He has to get out. He does Kai well. But he cannot fight against all these Queens. Not like this. Yeah, not this time. Likewise, now there's Roach support as well. Roach speed is on the way. And now Mana's having a harder time finding damage. Again, thanks to the Roach. So this time we have our Roaches. GG Machine, from here, he has the option to be aggressive, but he's droning. He's droning up behind this. He's going to be saturating. Archons, they poke in. They're going to be forced back. Oh. So far, nice control here. One of the Archons gets very low. Oh my god, the Prism as well. Okay, calm down, Mana. Prism taking a lot of hits. And here Mana's just trying to buy time for what? For Storm. Storm, Charge, Immortal Production, Gateway Explosion, 3-way Saturation. Mana is macroing up behind this, but you can see that this time he gets nowhere near as much damage. By now he would have already been killing 5 Queens, but this time he kills 0 Queens. This time he does get some drones, he does pick off 20 Lings, he does trade, but nowhere near as much. So now this time GG Machine is in a much better position. Now what's going on? He's droning. Droning up with the Hydrogen on the way, Infestation on the way, he's taking up in towards Hive. And even going to Tunneling Claw Roaches. Interesting. But like now, GG Machine, he's holding his own. You can see how different the game can be once you know what you're up against, once you have a better response. This was the same build out of Mana, but such a different outcome. Alright, GG Machine, fool me once. Okay. Never fool me again. Fool me once, I'm not shameless, Matthew. I'm not shameless. Oh no. Here we go. Yeah, building up. Shameless, of course, in a different portion of the bracket. But he is moving out. Mana, I mean, Storm is done. Storm is complete. We don't really have many Zealot reinforcements. This is a very robust army, though. Very high-tech, very intense. Immortals, Archons. Here come those Charge-Outs, and here comes the Storm support. It's going to be 3 High Templar and the War Prism, at least 3 Storms. So we have to bear that in mind. The Storms have to count. Mana, he does expand behind this, but he's pushing. GG Machine is caught taking, by the way. He doesn't have much of an army. GG Machine, what's going on? Well, he got Burrow. He got Tunneling Claws. He got Hive upgrades, or he got Hydra upgrades. Hive is on the way. Lurker Den's on the way. GG Machine spending so much money teching. Does he get away with this? He needs a little bit more time. More Hydras are building up. Roach is a due Burrow pass. Let's go. Getting some of the army. Oh my god. Did he get on top? Nice Storms on the Hydras. Oh my, the Hydras, they just melt. The Hydras melt, the Roaches melt, and Mana, he does it. He breaks through. Storm on the army as well. And again, GG Machine was just too greedy. What does he have? He has a Tunneling Claw Roaches, he has Burrow, he has the Hive, he has Lurker Den, he's getting into more upgrades, but no units. The units are lacking here. GG Machine was thinking too far ahead. And Mana, he strikes. Ooh, nice target firing on both High Templar. 0 Storms left. Without Storms, GG Machine, can he hold on? No shot. Yeah, no shot. Zealot reinforcements are all that Mana needs. For here, he backs off. He needs those war pins. For now, pulling away. Does save the Archons. But the damage has been done. 22 drone kills. 22 workers. Again, if only he had one more High Templar, one more Storm. But they were focus fired. So nice control there by GG Machine towards the end. But alas, it's still an uphill battle. The Prism does get away. Speaking of High Templar. Speaking of High Templar. We got 5 High Templar, each with at least 1 Storm. That's it, 6 High Templar. Mana is getting ready for the second wave, the second round. Behind this, we have Sky Toss on the way, Fleet Beacon here for Mana. And now I suppose GG Machine can make use of all this tech, but the problem is his economy. He's had to re-drone, he's had to resaturate, and once again, he's forced to spend lava droning instead of lava making an army. He does have a couple of lurkers on the way that will help, for sure, 100%. Lurkers, they can help slow the game down and buy some time. But Mana, he's already across the map. Likewise, Storm in the army, detection has arrived. Storms, they pop up. And he's going for the kill, he's going for the kill. He takes out every single lurker. The lurkers, they do nothing. The lunkers back. The observer's a little bit too far back. There we go, another observer has arrived. Does focus down the lurkers. There's 3 lurkers remaining. Down to 2, down to 1. And soon down to 0. 0 lurkers left. GG gets called, and Mana, he will overwhelm. He will take the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations, Mana. He will claim the series. Again, Mana, he is one of the favorites to qualify for the closed qualifier. GG Machine has also been doing really well for himself, and I was really excited to see some GG Machine action, and he did hold his own here in game 2. Again, he did adapt after the first game. The first game was rough, right? The first game, you got caught with his pants down. The pants, they were completely down in game 1, and Mana did take advantage of GG Machine. Here in game 2, GG Machine, again, he had a better response. He was better mentally and physically prepared for the Archon drop opener, so he shut it down. But as we saw, he was too greedy. He was too greedy afterwards. He was getting ready for a longer game. He was droning, he was teching. He wasn't ready for the push coming his way. He wasn't expecting it, I should say. He wasn't expecting it, he wasn't seeing it, he wasn't scouting. GG. GG, well played. Mana, he will claim the series. And with that, we're getting into our next matchup. Oh no. It's the Eva, Papi Eva. Oh no. I see. I know Eva's up against. He's going to be playing against Cristiano at some point, I think, if not mistaken, unless that's already occurred. But with that, GG, well played. With that, Mana does advance on into the next round. Oh no, we missed our match. No, we missed it. But Mana, he does advance on, and Mana is now getting ready for a qualifying match. Oh boy. Unfortunately, we just barely missed Eba versus Cristiano. They just got into game. I would love to cover this series for a reason. Let's find out why. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at it yourselves. Let us switch our scenes over and catch up on the bracket. Bam, as you can see here and now. Actually, can we zoom in? We can zoom in a little bit. Here, Mana versus GG Machine. Mana just took him down, and Mana is waiting for the winner of Cristiano and Eba. And unfortunately, we just missed them, so it is a bit of a feels bad, man. We're waiting for Eba and Cristiano to wrap up. And once they finish, we will be jumping into their series. Or at least once they finish their game. I don't know if they're in game 1, game 2, or game 3. So we're waiting for Eba and Cristiano, and then we'll jump in. Then we will jump in. So we're focusing on this portion of the bracket, but there are many others. And bearing in mind that, again, that is a qualifying match that they're getting ready for. Scrolling up, we do have Reynor. Reynor's up against Kneehead. Meanwhile, we have Young Yakov up against Arcfire as well. Very high quality matches are ongoing. Scrolling up, we have Marine. Is that Hero Marine or Baby Marine? Or is that just Marine? But Marine is up against Ashbringer. Likewise, we have Geralt versus Art as well. They're also facing off. I believe that is the Polish Art. Heading on up, we have Jumi waiting for his opponents. We have Spirit waiting for his opponents, waiting for Astra or Solicitus. We have Laser versus Mixu. We have Lambo takes down Moja 2-0. Lambo is in a qualifying match. Best of luck to Lambo. We have Bly. Bly making his return. Bly, it's been a while since we've seen him, but Bly, every now and then he shows up for qualifiers. He pops off. He's crazy. So best of luck to Bly. Up against Shameless. Meanwhile, Serral waiting for either Phalanger or Ledlix in the next round as well. Bearing in mind that only one European is invited to the EWC, that is Clem. Clem is the only player that doesn't need to play in the qualifiers, everyone else does. So Serral, Reynor, ShoWTimE, Spirits, Big Gabe, Lambo, Laser, Mana, everyone has to play through the qualifiers. No one else gets a seed or an invite because they didn't quite make it into the top 4 of DreamHack Dallas. DreamHack Dallas was very Korean dominated, less so European, so there were a lot of Korean invites as a result, as they did qualify for EWC. No Koreans, again, outside of Clem from last year. Scrolling on down, meanwhile, the lower half of the brackets, let's have a look as well. We do have ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE waiting for the winner of Azura and Sig, waiting for them in the round of 32. Yeah, round 32. We have Goblin waiting for the winner of Spats and Bim. Skilless is up against Fiant. Ooh, that's a spicy series. Let's go. I think they also just got into game. God damn it. And we have Strange versus, I think that's Milky Cow. It says Milky Mole, but I believe that's Milky Cow as well. So Strange up against Milky Cow, which means this Marine, is that Baby Marine or is that Marine Hero Marine? Which Marine is that? It's one of them. I would imagine. Unless did I miss some of the other Marines here? Am I blind? I could be blind. Because I don't see Baby Marine or Hero Marine on the brackets. That's gonna be one of them, right? No shot that none of them signed up. Like Gabe, he's got a big chance at making it through this. Regardless, with that, we do have some downtime. Again, we are going to be waiting for... Oh. Here we go. Okay. Looks like we found ourselves a series. And we're jumping into the round of 32. That was a really fast game 1, by the way. That was a really fast game 1. But they just wrapped up. Remember, they started game 1 when we started going over the bracket. We finished going over the bracket, and now bam, we're jumping to game 2. So really short game 1. I have no idea what the hell just happened, but now we're jumping into game number 2 of a round of 32 match. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the blue Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Eba. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Protoss player himself from Atlanta, Poland, representing Offside Esports. It is Cristiano. Here we go. I see someone asking for the bracket in the chat. I do apologize. The bots on our YouTube chat is a little bit broken. But I'll give you a link regardless, so you can have a look at the bracket in the YouTube chat. Actually, I believe that can be pinned, right? Hold on. Can we? I have no idea how to do that. I'm not. I have no idea how to pin comments. But regardless, we are now jumping into our series. Here we go. All right, if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Of course, we're jumping in mid-series, but you can predict nonetheless for who you think will advance on the face-off against Mana in a qualifying match. But now, 2-gate opener. Oh, all right, pull first. God damn it. A 2-gate open out of Cristiano. Good read. It was a pull first build. Later hatchery. And here we go. The Lings are out. The boys, they're being hidden. Oh, Cristiano, does he see? He's trying to hide the scouts. The boys are pulled away. The boys are pulled back in. Ema, he's crazy. He does hide them. There's a cancel. There's a cancel. More Lings are on the way. And it's all or nothing for Ema. He is supply blocked, unfortunately, so he has a bunch of minerals and he can't spend his money. But here we go. The boys are on the way. Eva, again, he is supply blocked, unfortunately, so has limited Lings to work with. Regardless, is moving out. Meanwhile, the 2-gate opener is done. The base is delayed. A very serious response here, by a very solid response, I should say, by Cristiano. Does take the seriously, throws down the shield battery. He does fully wall off. And the drones are not quite breaking through. Does drone drill the gateway, though? Yeah, nice drone drilling. The gateway is taking a lot of hits. The other gateway as well. There's just one zealot now an adept. Adept has arrived. And the gateway's gonna fall. The gateway's gonna fall. Do we re-wall in time? Oh my god. Does re-wall in time. I say that the gateway is gonna go down. One more volley. Gateway goes down. Lings, they've bust in. He gets this round on the zealots. But the shield battery's done. Shield battery is done. A nice movement here. Second adept has arrived. He's going for the Atosis pylon. Yeah, the pylon is on its own. Can he target? Oh, does save the zealot. Now targets the pylon for as long as he can. And Eba's running out of steam. Eba's running out of steam. There's still 2 adepts left over. Takes down the pylon. Depowers everything. But now a backup pylon is done. Repowers everything once again. And that's going to be it. That's going to be all that Eba had left. Eba again down to 5 drones, down to 4 drones. GG! And Cristiano, he will take the series 2-0. He will advance on. He will advance on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. Oh, as with that, Cristiano, he does claim the series, does advance on. And with that, he will make it through to face off against Mana in a qualifying match. Let's go. Let us go. Here we go. GG, well played. So Cristiano, he does advance on, and now we have some Polish on a Polish action. Up next is going to be Cristiano versus Mana in a PvP. Oh boy. Again, we've got some of the best players in all of Poland facing off, and I believe that should be a best of 5, if I'm not mistaken. Here we go. Here we go. As, if I'm not mistaken, yes, I believe this is going to be a best of 5 qualifying match. Again, there's not many rounds when it comes to the Open Qualifier. It is top 8. Top 8 do make it through. So round of 16 is all you got to get through. Now, if we're lucky, I believe we have the first qualifying match. Yes, hey, we picked well. We picked well when it comes to our portion of the bracket, but we are going to be featuring the very first qualifying match of the bracket, which means we will most likely have enough time to cover maybe a second, maybe even a third qualifying match as well. The match is not going to be held, or all the qualifying matches, they're all going to be starting as soon as they're ready, just because there's so many of them, but because we're starting faster than everyone else, we should be able to get another one as well. I would imagine, especially because it's a PvP. I imagine this is going to be a bit of a shorter one, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. GG will. Setting it. Here we go. Catching up. Gabe is there, Babe Marine is thoughts. Here Marine versus Ash Marine. Oh, there you go. There you go. So Gabe is there. Gabe is there. Even going back with the drones is too much when he went back in for the scouts. True. I mean, that does delay, right? It's like that's also something I should bear in mind, is that because of the probe scout, because the incessant probe scout from Cristiano, that did delay the all-in. It did delay the drone drill, and every second counts, right? Every second, true, does count when it comes to this kind of game state. That is definitely true. 100%. As Vitas are underway. Currently, Mana and Cristiano are just trying to figure out, you know, who's the higher seed and where everything goes and where everything leads to, or what everything leads to. Yes, Polish Protoss versus Polish Protoss. True, true. But we might be going on a short break. Here. When it comes to any other qualifying match that we might jump into afterwards, I'm not going to be too picky. Like, typically whenever we cast an event, we do try to follow players for as long as we can. And after that qualifying match, I mean, we're kind of done following our players. So I'm content to just jump into whatever becomes available. Just whatever becomes available. Anyone that speaks out to me specifically, the potential, I mean, ideally, especially because we're covering one PvP now, we could feature a non-Protoss. I can see the potential Skilless versus Strange. That would be a lot of fun, actually. Assuming that Strange takes out Milky Cow. Milky Cow, he's always a bit of a wild card and always a threat, so there's potential for Milky Cow versus Skilless as well. I mean, shout out to Fiant. I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself, you know, talking about Skilless, but Fiant is also down there. So the bottom portion of the bracket definitely does speak to me. Actually, you know what? Let's look together. This here, this bottom part of the bracket does look like fun, like Skilless, Fiant, Strange, or Milky Cow. Scrolling up, we have pure Protoss here in between. Oh wait, is that Baby Marine? No, that's Beam. Okay. Scrolling up, we do have Young Yakov, Arcfire, Reynor, and Nihed. When it comes to featuring some of these big players, like, I'm a little bit less incentivized. I'm sure some of the other cast is going to be covering them, and I'm a little bit afraid that it's going to be a little bit more one-sided, referring to like Serral specifically, Serral and Reynor. But there could definitely be some fun matches there. Apparently this Marine is Big Gabe. Apparently it's Gabe up against Ashbringer. Then we have Geralt and Arts. These matches here could be fun as well, for sure. Spirit Solicitous takes on Astra. Okay. Then we have potential Spirit and Jumi. Always a lot of fun featuring Jumi. I don't know who he's up against. It looks like a Barcode. Not too familiar. But Jumi has his opponents. We got Lambert, Laser, and Mixu. We have non-stop ZVZs in this portion of the bracket. Let's go. They're all knocking each other out. And then we have Serral, Ledlix, Bly, and Shameless also looking to face off. But yeah, for me personally, featuring Gabe would be a lot of fun. Featuring Jumi and Spirits potential would be a lot of fun as well. But again, it depends on how things line up. Oh, as looks like Vita's done. Vitas are done, and we have our lobby. We have our best of 5. Beautiful. Game 1 is going to be on ley lines. Going to be jumping into ley lines. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have our Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Offside Esports. It is Cristiano. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is Mana. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Predictions are going to be open here. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series, on who you think will advance on and qualify for the closed qualifier. Best of luck in the chat as you can get your gamba going. Here we go. So Cristiano, he does move out with the initial probe scouts. Back at home, we do have initial 2-gate opener here out of Cristiano, 2-gate opener out of our red Protoss, 2-gate opener out of our blue Protoss player as well. So far, so good. So far, so good. Just 2-gate openers all around. No one is going for a gate cyber expand. No one is proxying, not yet. So far, we're keeping up. As we are going to go for our initial 2 units of choice. From here, we can open up a double Stalker, double Adept, a Stalker Sentry, or Sentry Expand. There are different combinations of openers or units you can go for here. One is more aggressive than the other, one is more greedy than the other, one is a little bit more middle of the road, so there are different ways to approach this. What we can say with certainty, no proxy, no hyper aggression. This is going to be Stalker Sentry out of Cristiano and double Stalker out of Mana. Mana is going to be more assertive, more aggressive. Mana is going to be pushing out across the map. Cristiano, he will have more scouting information. The Sentry allows for the hallucination to get across the map to scout the full main base and see everything that his opponent is up to. So a safer start out of Cristiano, a more aggressive start out of Mana. Both players do pylon block. The Sentry is revealed. Mana now knows that Cristiano opens Sentry. Meanwhile, Cristiano... Oh, Mana, he hides his units here. Waiting for the pylon to finish. You see Cristiano cancels. Sorry, Mana does cancel across the map. Likewise, Cristiano cancels as well. What's important is that Mana did not reveal his hand. But here comes that hallucination. Hallucination is moving out. Mana getting in position. He will focus on that hallucination. Oh, one more volley. Hallucination goes down. For the most part, gets a full scout though. Is aware of what's going on. Does confirm the expansion. So Cristiano knows there's no crazy one base all in. Speaking of, does set up a proxy across the map. Okay. Behind this, throwing down a Twilight Council, taking up. No extra gateways. So Cristiano, he can reinforce with the depths, for example, to shade into the mineral line, but he's not going all in by any means. Meanwhile, Mana, his tech of choice, Robo. Interesting. Robo opener out of Mana. With this, we can go for early Immortal production. We can go for the early Prism to move out across the map, to reinforce, to be more assertive here. Yo, we go for the hallucinations. Let's go. Or we get 2 Stalkers at a time. We'll see if Cristiano can break this. Now poking forward, nice force fields. Yeah, hallucinations, they bait out some shots. Cristiano, he does dive on the Sentry and barely gets it. Sentry goes down. Likewise, Cristiano, he bleeds out a Stalker. Nice force fields. And Mana does lock him down, but that's still a higher Stalker count for Cristiano. The Prism has arrived. The juggling is solid. And Mana, ooh, does save his Stalkers. Yeah, barely does. And Mana takes the fight. Mana, he takes the fight. Catching out another Stalker. Oh my, the juggling! Juggles well. Pulls away, and looking at the trades here, Mana, he lost 1 Stalker, 1 Sentry for 2 Stalkers and 3 Sentries. Ay, ay, ay. Mana just being so much more efficient here. So much more. That's the power of the War Prism. The power of the Prism. Ooh, Mana though, he is split. Does have his Immortal, no shield battery. No shield battery. Despite that, he will break through that pylon. Supply blocking Cristiano. And Mana goes to the counterattack. Mana, he knows he has the advantage. He knows that he's been out trading his opponent. And Cristiano, he's in trouble. He's in danger. Adept takes shade across. Cristiano does commit. Does commit to the shade, making his way into the mineral line. Does get in. Gets 1. Gets 2. Yeah, 2, 3 probes going down. Ay, ay, ay. Takes down 3 workers. Likewise, nice force field. Yeah, Mana looking down the army. Blink is not done. Yeah, Blink is still all the way for Cristiano. The boys are being pulled. There's going to be a tough hold here for the red Protoss. Adepts, they come in from behind. The shield batteries, they put in a lot of work. Oh, shout out to the shield batteries. Cristiano, he holds. Cristiano, he's holding on. Mana's army's getting low. He has to back up. He has to get the hell out of here. Ooh. Does pick up. Oh, it doesn't save the Adept. Blink is done. Cristiano, he can try to punish this, but he cannot fight those two immortals, not head on. Oh, nice snipe. Gets a stalker. Takes down a stalker. And he can soon overwhelm those immortals. But he's going for it. Goes for a dive. Oh, ooh, takes down the prism. Prism goes down, takes down the immortal as well. And nice pickups here from Cristiano. Likewise, he's buying time and does pull away. Building up more stalkers back at home. And still just pure stalker. He's on 3 gateways. Sorry, 4 gates. 4 gate blink out of Cristiano. And Mana, he has to retreat. He has to back off. Now, as it settles, Mana, he does not have map control. He's stuck at home. He has no blink, of course, but he does have immortals. Because of the robot opener, he does have that immortal advantage. In a head-on fight, I do favor Mana, but Cristiano has micro potential with blink. So he can still out-control. He can still out-control the army. Same time, it has to get across the map. We do see that Mana's trying to catch up. With the Twilight Council, we might just go straight into charge. Yep, there we go, charge on the way. This is a way to kind of skip blink tech. As charge, I'll say trade more efficiently. But until then, Mana's vulnerable. Mana is vulnerable. As Cristiano expands, and Cristiano, his goal here is to contain. He doesn't have to break this, but he's containing Mana and keeping him on 2 bases. Mana tries to expand. Cristiano blinks into the main. It goes to the main base, does force a recall. And picks up 1, 2, 3 probes. Blinks down to the low ground. Oh, actually sticks around. Thinks about it. Adepts shading to the natural. Mana's being torn apart. He just cannot keep up. 2, 3, 7, 6, 7 probes. 8 probes. Oh my god. 8 workers going down. Shields are triggered. Oh yeah, more reinforcements on the way. More reinforcements for Cristiano. Once again, hallucination for high ground vision. He can go back into the main. Mana losing 9 workers in total. And remember, recall's on cooldown. Oh, dives on the immortals. It does go for the dive. Not quite worth it. Immortals are saved. Oh, the stalkers, they get punished. They get punished so hard. Ay, ay, ay. It was a bold move by Cristiano. It wasn't worth it in the end. Almost got the immortal, almost got the prism. But they survive. The immortal does live. The prism did not. Okay. Prism did go down. Behind this, Cristiano has a better economy. Likewise, he's getting to his own charge. Archon production as well. Charge almost done for Cristiano. And this is where Mana needs Archons. He's got his first Archon. 1 Archon is good. More is better. The way this dynamic works here is that Zealots, they actually trade very well against Immortals and Stalkers. They do a great job specifically just tanking shots. Tanking shots, close the distance, getting damage done. That's why Archons are necessary to help counter the Zealot. But right now there's only 1. Stalkers, they come in from behind. Oh. Ooh, rough movement. Yeah, Cristiano getting caught out, bleeding out 1 Stalker. Cristiano, he recalls back home. Adept save us into the mineral line. 3 adept kills. Sorry, 3 probe kills. Not bad. But Cristiano still has a better economy. Mana, he's committed. Mana, he's not probing. He's not probing. He's making nothing but units. Archons now morphing in. He's got 3 Archons. That's going to be good enough. Nice whole position micro. Making use of this choke point. Zealots, they cannot engage. They want to fight out in the open. He's going for it. Better kiting here out of the Archons. Zealots have to pull back. Cristiano just cannot engage. Oh. Better surround on the first Archon. Doesn't get it. The juggling. Oh my god. Yeah, the micro out of Mana saves the Archon. Cristiano, he will lose his own. Once again, trying to dive in. Takes on one of the Immortals. And can he get another Immortal? Oh, he cannot. And the control is there. Oh my god. Barely saves the Immortals. Mana, he kites back, going for another warp in. And the Stalkers, they barely will get the prism, but after the warp in finishes. And Mana, he can keep going. Mana has a massive army. Cristiano barely hanging on here. But Mana backs off. Mana doesn't like his chances. He pulls away, doesn't risk it. He still has 4 Immortals. A terrifying Immortal army. And Mana, he takes the fight. Does take the fight. He was able to shut down most of the Stalkers. He preserves most of his high-tech army as well. Mana, what's he waiting for? The Prism. He's waiting for the War Prism. He wants to be able to juggle his units. Wants to be able to engage and micro and control. Main army distracted as Zealotay do head into the mineral line. Not bad. Getting a couple of workers. 2 probes go down. More importantly, Cristiano, he also sees the lack of saturation. Like Cristiano, he's still up in workers. He can just compare saturation with his own. Now getting a 4th base, but this does feel greedy for Cristiano. It does feel greedy, and there's still so many Immortals. Now, for those that are curious, the role of the Immortal is to focus on the Archons. If they can focus on those Archons, then then Mana can overwhelm. That's going to be the purpose of these Immortals, to focus on the Archons, to allow for the rest of the army to overwhelm. Once again, making use of this choke point. At this point, it probably would have been worth it for Cristiano to break down these rocks earlier. But even then, it's gonna be a tough fight. Upgrades are neck and neck. Plus, Su is almost done for Mana, so you will have the upgrade advantage. Here we go. He's moving in. Does move in. Again, we have set up a pretty good concave here, but he needs Mana to push. Yeah, Mana being so careful. Almost takes down one of the Archons. Oof. Once again, Mana juggles back. How do you engage if you're Cristiano? Like, how do you engage into this without a surround? And even then you're engaging into Mass Archon. With that, Cristiano, he does micro-well himself. Saves an Archon. Oof. Yeah, brutal Archon volleys though, going off on the Zealots. Oof. Yeah, brutal volleys. And again, Mana just being so careful with his army control. Again, just wants to make sure it doesn't get surrounded. Cristiano just commits. He just commits in. Archons a kite back. Immortals as well. Oh, the Archons being targeted down. And Mana, so far, he's taking this fight. There's still a lot of Zealots, but you can see how low those Zealots are now. They're so softened up. And Mana breaks through. Mana, he breaks through. Cristiano trying to surround. Oh, it does take down one of the Archons, not bad. Takes down one of the Archons. There's 3 Archons left. Cristiano, can he take this fight? Oh, we have more Warpings coming in. We have the attempt to surround. And Cristiano, he takes down the Immortals. There's 1 Immortal left. But GG gets called. There's still too much. Mana, he still breaks through, and Mana takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Again, Cristiano, he almost broke through. He had the surround. He had the Warping coming in from behind as well. But you just saw how difficult it was for Cristiano to engage with that army with Chargel Archon. He just couldn't. He just could not engage, not efficiently, not effectively. The high immortal count of Mana was just again a real problem as well that he could not deal with. He could not handle the positioning. GG. GG, well played. As a reminder, remember, this was a robot opener out of Mana, and the advantage of a robot opener is the immortal count. The immortal count is a big advantage that you do have available to you. Really robust units. They're slower, they're less mobile, but in a head-on fight like that, they excel. What was Cristiano's advantage? Blink. He had Blink Stalkers. And what was he doing with it? He was doing quite well. He was rotating into the main, back to the 3rd base. He was containing his opponent. Because of that, he had the faster 3rd base, the better economy. That is true. But as you saw, the Blink Stalkers were eventually reset, right? The Blink Stalker count was reset after the first fight. He lost every single Stalker, and then they never really factored in after that. He wasn't able to preserve his army. He wasn't able to preserve those Stalkers to gain more value over time. Did lose all of them, and he couldn't really get back into them. And with that, we're now getting into our next game, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the Polish Protoss player, the Red Protoss representing Offside Esports. Down in the series, but this is the best of 5. Plenty of games ahead of us, plenty of games to come. It is Cristiano. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Blue Protoss player, the Blue Protoss also from Lena, Poland, representing Team Liquid. It is Mana. go. As we are selling in. Disruptor, yes. For those that are curious, the way that the tech works in PvP is you begin with your initial gateway composition of Blink Stalker versus Blink Stalker, for the most part. Of course, last game was different. Then you go into Charger Archon versus Charger Archon, and then you go from there into Disruptors. Like, Disruptors, they're kind of like the ideal mid to late game unit composition that you want to embrace. What I will say, though, in that last game is that Cristiano, he had no room to get into Disruptors. Like, he was already up against the wall, he was already engaging with the army, he had no room, he had no freedom to tech in that kind of direction. So that was not an option for Cristiano, not in that kind of game state. If Mana was more passive, if Mana backed off and got a 4th base and took his gases and probed up, then sure, then we can start thinking about something like Disruptors or something like Phoenixes, for example. Like, there are other tech options. When I say how do you engage into this, when I say that during the cast, I'm like factoring in the current game state of like what is available to Cristiano. And unfortunately, again, because of the earlier losses, he just didn't really have a lot of gas, a lot of tech available to him. Remember, he was staying on a lower gas count, specifically to get into the charge lots, to get into Zealots. So it was just a really rough position there for Cristiano. I think maybe the best option for him would have been a counterattack. Now looking back on it, hindsight is 2020, but I do think that if you remember, there was a lot of time that Cristiano was spending posturing on top of the ramp. He was posturing on top of the ramp, and he had so much supply just stuck on top of the ramp, and he just couldn't really engage into the ramp. So you see this a lot in ZVT, for example. Whenever there's a siege position outside of a base, what do? Ling run by. You go for a big Ling run by, big Ling counterattack, and here in this kind of PvP, go for a Zealot run by, Zealot counterattack. Ideally, you force warp-ins, or more ideally, you force a recall. You force your army back home, you threaten the bases, and try to force your Mana's army elsewhere to give yourself some breathing room, to alleviate that pressure, and to, like, you know, have some room to work with. I think that probably would have been the best course of action there for Cristiano, because again, like, he just could not engage into said main army. And even then, like, that's not even a guarantee. There's a chance that maybe Mana has warp in, so he just warps in back at home. He was lacking side defense, but if he had some, then, you know, maybe he defends there anyway. Like, you know, there's that give and take of how that would have turned out. But yeah, it was just a really rough position for Cristiano. Meanwhile, we do have Mana going for the proxy pylon here on the right hand side. With that, he can warp in Adepts. Meanwhile, 2 gate opener from both sides. 2 gate opener double Stalker, I believe. No, sorry. Stalker, faster, expand. Notice how to Cristiano. Oracle does get into the main. Oracle into the main base. Let's get seven probes go. Oh my god. 7 workers go down. Sorry, I was just a little bit distracted talking about the previous game, but it was a Stargate opener out of Mana, going for the faster Oracle. 7 probe kills, brutal damage so far. Cristiano, he did see this, but wasn't quite ready for it. Yeah, the hallucination scout was too late, and Mana's not done. He's going for a 2nd Oracle across the map. So Mana, he has a later expansion in favor of the faster Stargate, and so far it's worth it. Sure, he has less workers. Sorry, he had less workers. He could produce less workers, but the Oracles, they eviscerate the mineral line and allows Mana to catch up and overwhelm and have the better economy as Oracles, they go back in. And he's still not yet done. 3 more probe kills. 10 in total. And now Mana takes a worker lead. Now, it's not a huge worker lead, but a lead nonetheless. And that's what a Stargate opener can provide you. So with that, Mana has that economic lead. Behind this, working towards Blink. Meanwhile, Cristiano also trying to work towards Blink, but because of all that economic damage, it's late. Oh my god. Speaking of, 2 more probes. Meanwhile, 3rd base on the way. So we do see that Cristiano, he delays his Blink in favor of the faster 3rd. This is very greedy. It's very greedy here from Cristiano. I mean, this is also a way to catch up economically. Because he's taken so many losses, it does mean that he can try to take an economic lead in the mid game, if he can get there. Meanwhile, Mana, proxy gateway. How many gates? 3 at home, 1 across the map, 4 gate Blink. This is very aggressive out of Mana. He's pushing out. And Cristiano, how many gates does he have? 2. 2 gate Blink against 4 gate Blink Stalker. Aye. Remember, where's all the resources that were meant to be invested into the gateways? That's in the base. That's in the Nexus. So Mana has a lot of potential to break Cristiano with this push. unlike Mana in the last game, there's no immortals. Like, right? There's no immortals here as the backbone to the army. There's nothing to make up for the lack of stalkers. Right now, it's just a numbers game. Right now, it's just Cristiano being greedy. And I feel like he's going to be punished for that greed. Oh boy. Here we go. Mana now moving in. Diving the army, and he just goes straight for the sentries. Sentries are going down. Oracles, they focus on the immortal. The immortal was fake. And there's nothing here. There's just nothing here. Once again, blinks on in and takes down the stalkers one after the other. Doesn't even waste his time with the hallucination. Boys are being pulled, and there's no army. There's just no army here. Again, Cristiano too greedy. Caught with his pants down. GG gets called, and Mana will extend his lead 2-0. GG. A very decisive game there out of Mana. Again, Mana, he did open up with his Stargate. Unfortunately, Cristiano, it was a bit of a later scout from him. He had a later response, and those oracles, they got out of hand. Now, because those oracles dealt so much damage, that is why Cristiano felt the need to expand so much quickly, so much more faster. It wasn't out of nowhere. Because he felt behind, he felt like he had to catch up. And it's either, when you're in that kind of position, do you go for an all-in on 2 bases and just double down and just accept the fact that you're behind economically and just go for an all-in, or do you try to catch up being greedy? Made the choice there to go for made the choice to go for his 3rd base. He made the choice to go for his Nexus, of course. Made the choice to go for his 3rd, and unfortunately, he was, again, caught with his pants down as a result. Pants were down, but here we go. Now let's focus on Game 3. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the red Protoss player, the Polish Protoss representing Offside Esports. Down in the series, the pressure's on. Now, this is a best of 5, so he has, he had room to work with, but now not anymore. Now he's up against the wall. He has to fight back here and now to make a series out of this. It is Cristiano. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Team Liquid, leading the series 2-0. And 1 game away from claiming the series, it is Mana. Here we go. As we are loading into one of the more larger maps of the map pool, welcome to Tokamak, very large map. And this does often lead into longer macro games, but because of the warp-in mechanic, because our proxy pylons work, it does mean that the length of the map doesn't really matter as much at times. You can still be aggressive in PvP. For now, to get opener. Again, I do feel a little bit bad for last game, being a little bit engrossed talking about something other than the game at the start. So we ourselves were caught off guard by the Oracle. So this time, to get opener from both players. Mirrored builds, mirrored starts. Cristiano is going to poke in. Mana, he does hide his 2nd pylon, so this is a fake proxy. Basically, in PvP, when you move in with your probe scouts, you're looking for tech, but you're also looking for the pylons. That's more important. You're looking for the pylons, as there should be a 2nd pylon in the main, like Cristiano. There it is, 2nd pylon between the gases, but there's no 2nd pylon for Mana. So this could be a real or a very fake proxy pylon. We know it's fake. Like, we can see here there's nothing to be worried about, but Cristiano doesn't know that. Behind this double stalker open out to Cristiano, Mana opening up double adept. 3rd pylon in the main. Likewise, 3rd pylon in the main west for Cristiano as well. We can see Cristiano, he moves out with the 2nd probe. So this is already doing damage. We can see Cristiano, he's scouting with 2 workers. Mana, he was scouting with 1. So that's 1 extra probe that Cristiano has out on the map, not mining. So this is already doing damage. It doesn't look like a lot. It's, it is small damage, but damage nonetheless. And in a mirror matchup, every little bit counts. As Cristiano, he does... Oh no, he barely misses the pylon. Barely does miss, barely does not confirm. Ay. So he's still looking, still searching behind this. Oh, shield battery. Misread here. Cristiano's getting ready for an all-in. Likewise, behind this, going for a Twilight Council. We do set up here back at home, going for extra stalkers. And now he's moving out. Cristiano is moving out. He does find. Now he knows. Now he knows. Back at home, he should cancel this. As he's making his way over towards the bases. There it is. There's a cancel. Thankfully, does cancel in time. But he's stuck on one base. Mana, he's already expanded. He has a shield battery. He has sentries. The mind games did work. Cristiano, he fell for it. Now he realized his mistake. Now he realized what's going on. But these adepts are just forcing the pros to be stuck in the main. As Cristiano, he cannot open up that wall. Like, he can't cancel. There it is. Now he can cancel. Now he can move his probe out, but he was trapped in the main base this entire time, so he just couldn't expand massively late base. Now, Cristiano does have faster blink. True. So, a couple of things here. One, Mana, he has the greater economy. He has the better setup back at home. Cristiano will have the more mobile army. He'll have a more flexible army with Blink Stalkers. True. To make up for that, Robo. This is similar to game 1, where Mana, he knows that he's behind when it comes to Blink. He knows that he's behind when it comes to Stalker Warpins. So the correct thing to do in this position, you skip Blink or you delay Blink, and you go into Immortals to make up for that. So Immortals are a good way to make up for a lack of gateways and a lack of Blink Stalkers. They're a lot more defensive, of course, and Mana is going to be stuck at home for the near future. Cristiano, he has at least map control. And with Blink, with these sentries, he can blink into the main. Back at home, Cristiano, he is still slowly trying to expand. Getting a third gateway. Mana moves out with 2 adepts. Blink is done in 10 seconds, and Cristiano looks like he does want to go for that dive. He wants the main. Adepts into natural, blinks into the main, he wants a pylon. Pylon is going to be targeted down. Nice force field there by Mana. Shuts down the first adept, but the gateways are depowered. So far, nice damage here by Cristiano. Does get some nice damage. Oh, the adept is popping off. 3 probes. 3 workers going down at the same time. Mana also across the map as well. Probes falling from both players. Mana kills 2. Meanwhile, Cristiano kills 6. So yeah, 6 probe kills. Nice force field. Locking Mana out. Yeah, Mana's being outpositioned. Now he can move down. Now he can defend. But Cristiano, he's putting in a lot of work here. Likewise, 9 probe kills. Shades into the main. 10 probes go down. And Cristiano, he had a much, much later expansion, but now he pops off. And he's in this. Cristiano, he's back in this. Now here come the reinforcements. Back at home, he's now ahead economically. He now has a higher probe count. The adepts, they were the MVPs. Cristiano's still moving out. Cristiano, he's still in this. He might be down in the series, but he's not down in this game. Now, a head-on fight is something he can't do. Let's just bear that in mind. We still have to respect the Immortals. We have to respect the Immortals. What Cristiano can do is blink back into the main. He's going for it. He's going for the blink. But alas, this time Mana is in position. He does read this. Locks down the army. Nice force field. And Cristiano, he gets punished. Does focus on some of those sentries. He has to recall. Does recall the hell out of here, and he does save most of his stalkers. Does save most of his stalkers. Does get the hell out of there. You can see Mana catching up when it comes to blink. Meanwhile, Cristiano just doubling down. He's got 14 stalkers. And Mana's out of position. Mana, he's here on the right-hand side. He just gets spotted. Ooh, bit of a miss rally. Rallying in some probes. Cristiano, calm down. Getting a little bit nervous. Making some mistakes. Well, Mana, no nerves. Experience is on his side. Building up his Immortals. Now he has Blink. He's got that Prism as well. Cristiano still has more than double the Stalker count. 20 Stalkers. At the same time, Adepts, they get across the map. 7 probe kills. Cristiano, he was distracted. Adepts, they're finally going to be cleaned up, but they get a lot of damage. Cristiano's still looking for a way in. Still looking for a way in. Mana is keeping up with the rotations. Mana the first to expand. Cristiano, he's on 6 gates, so is Mana. Cristiano still looking for a way in. So far, Mana, he's rotating. Does rotate over. He's keeping up with the movement of Cristiano. Cristiano likewise has the Observer, also keeping eyes on Mana. Cristiano now expands, but a much later expansion. Still very tense. Oh! Triggers the shields. Oh, Mana punishes, so he tries to. They trade. Likewise, stalks from the right hand side. He snipes the Observer. Not bad. Ideally, did want the Prism. Settles for the Observer. Doesn't mean that he can maintain his own vision. True. As Mana moves out, Cristiano spots the move out. Does blink away, and now he goes for the backstab. Yeah, Cristiano with the backstab. Mana completely out of position. He doesn't turn around. We're going for the base trade. But this is a late base trade for Mana. Cristiano, he's already in the main, and he depowers every single gateway. The gateway is being depowered. Gets into the mineral line. Mana is all in. But again, this feels late for Mana. He wasn't even halfway across the map. Going for the main. Force fields will slow him down. I'm liking Cristiano's position here. Yeah, he's depowering everything. There's 0 gateways left. Nothing to reinforce. Cristiano, he can just give up on the natural. That's fine. He can give up on the base, and he can always recall. He can always recall back home. Mana, he does pull away the probes. Cristiano will bring in more sentries. Speaking of, does force field. Mana just buying time. Sorry, Cristiano buying time. Cristiano, he recalls back home. And he can surround the army. He can attempt this around. Meanwhile, Mana gets the hell out of here. He recalls back. And what is the game? Oh, no! And what is the game state? Cristiano, he's on 23 workers and 2 bases. Meanwhile, Mana, he's on 3 bases, but with a lower probe count of 16. So worse economy for Mana. Likewise, the probes are not mining. They did hide across the map. And Cristiano, he has a massive army. He has 31 Stalkers against the 5 Stalkers of Mana and 3 Immortals. Yeah, no shot. No shot. Cristiano, again, he was so patient. He had a really rough start, actually. Really rough start for Cristiano when it came to overreacting to the fake proxy. But he blinks in, takes down the Prism, takes down the Immortals. And we have a series. GG gets called. Cristiano, he fights back. We have a back and forth. Let's go. Whew. Ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. GG, well played. With that, the series continues here. Cristiano, he just messaged me. He's like, I thought I lost. To be fair, we thought he lost as well. Like, it was a rough start. Remember Cristiano, he believed it was a proxy. He even just said, he said proxy robo in my mind. Yeah, like Cristiano, he believed it was a proxy. He believed it was cheese. He was caught with his pants down, and he had a really shaky start. But with it, he was able to make use of those Blink Stalkers. More importantly, outposition. He was able to outposition Mana. If you remember, the MVP was the Observer. The Observer was the MVP. The Observer there that Cristiano kept alive allowed him to keep tabs on Mana. He saw the rotation, he saw the movement. Bam, hit the natural, forced the base trade. It was a bit of an odd decision to commit to the base trade for Mana, just because he was so far out on the map. Like, he wasn't really close enough to commit the way that he would otherwise have liked to, so it was a really rough decision there from Mana. He went for it. In the end, he wasn't able to get as much damage to be as successful. It did hit quite late, and with that, GG, well played. We have a series. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of a pylon, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Offside Esports. Down in the series, but looking to force the ace match. Let's go. Momentum is on his side. It is Cristiano. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, the Polish Protoss representing Team Liquid, still leading the series at 2-1, still 1 game away from qualifying for the closed qualifier. Uno mas is all he needs. It is Mana. Here we go. I casting the NA qualifier tonight. Yes. We already casted the Asia qualifier. Now we're covering the European qualifier, and we will be casting the NA qualifier as well. Just like with EBT, we will cast every single region. That is how we do, Pappy. We cast everything that we can, and even if we can't, we cast it anyway as well. We just we just cast as much as we can, Pappy. Aye. I'm ready for the 15-hour cast. Let's go. All the way. Now, what I will say is that the EWC qualifiers are shorter broadcasts. On average, a cast is like 4 hours on average for an event like this. But because the qualifying rounds are sooner, like we're already in a qualifying round, it does mean that there are less matches. So even though it's going to be like 15 hours, it's going to be like half of that casting. I want to say. Well, we'll be okay. We'll make it through. For now, though, we do have Cristiano moving out across the map. Both players do with their workers, with their probes. 2-gate opener out of Mana, 2-gate opener out of Cristiano. Now, last game, we saw that Mana was able to catch Cristiano with his pants down with a fake proxy pylon. This time, the pylon is further back in the main. It is hidden in the main base, but in the main nonetheless. Oh. Cristiano doesn't scout. He doesn't check the corner. It's going to be a Stargate opener back at home, and Cristiano, he does not confirm. Ay. Likewise, third pylon in the main base for Cristiano. Mana poking in. Mana, he will confirm that the pylons are where they should be. And I'm concerned here with Cristiano as he is working with incomplete information. Cristiano's in the dark. It is going to be the Oracle opener. I believe this is similar to the opener that Mana went for in Game 2. I do believe. Cristiano does move out. Yeah, Robo opener. He believes he's getting ready to defend against a 1-base all-in. So no, Robo shield battery as well. Cristiano, where has Mana touched you? Like both Game 3 and now Game 4, Cristiano, he's convinced that he's getting cheesed out. He's convinced about the proxy. So Robo responds, backup shield batteries. Ay. And Cristiano does move out with the Stalkers at least. And with this, there is no expansion. Does force his way up the ramp. There's no shield battery, by the way. Yeah, Stalker is under fire. Cristiano, he can punish. Forces his way up the ramp, but unfortunately, there's no shield battery. No shield battery in the mineral line. Oracle does rush in. Probes are going to be going down. Cristiano does take down Stalker, though. Stalker does fall. Cristiano is taking down probes. Probes are falling. And back at home he defends. He defends back at home. Probes are going down. They're so low. Can we get any more? Can we target fire? Oh god, they're so low. Getting 5 so far. 5 probes. Can we get 6? Can we get 7? Can we get 8? Oh my god. Jesus. 7 probe kills. So nice punish there from Cristiano, but Mana, fun fact, still ahead. Mana, he's still up in probes, still has a high worker count. And Cristiano is throwing this into 1-base all-in. Yeah, 1-base all-in out of Cristiano, making use out of what he has. Here we go. We have the 3rd gate on the way, the Prism as well, and this is a 1-base all-in. Mana back at home, likewise going for his own 3rd gateway as well, also playing it safe. Ooh, does have a Phoenix. Phoenix is a good way to shut this down. The Phoenix can zone away the Prism, can also lift up the Immortal. Can also lift. Oracles, they confirm the gateway. Yeah, he knows. Yeah, they see the 3rd gateway in the Robo. Mana, he's aware. Behind this, I wouldn't be opposed to another shield battery. The 1-base all-in is coming. Is coming. Mana setting up back at home. There we go, warping in 3 Stalkers at a time. Look at the army count here. Cristiano, he's up by 4 Stalkers. He has the Immortal. Mana does have the Phoenixes, which has micro potential. As you mentioned, he can zone away the Prism. He can lift up the Immortal. But in a head-on fight, you do have to favor Cristiano. I say that actually 3 Stalkers actually back at home. If he had everything across the map, I do favor him. But the Stalkers are back at home. There's a lift. The Phoenix is going to be focused down. The Prism as well. And the Prism is going to fall. Massive pick off. He will lose the War Prism. And Cristiano, he's trying to save that Immortal, trying to. He takes down the Stalkers one after the other. Cristiano, he does break through the main army. Takes out all the Stalkers. Likewise, reinforcements have arrived. Mana, he holds. Mana, he's holding on. It was a messy fight there. But Mana, he does hold the line. Behind this, will he expand? Now we're calming down. What do we have left? 3 Stalkers for Mana. Cristiano still has 9, but again, remember, like, he's like 3 Stalkers are just perpetually stuck at home to defend against the Oracles. He's just stuck at home. As both players are still on one base. Neither player expands. As Cristiano, he commits. Rebuilds the Prism. Still keeping those 3 Stalkers back at home. Again, he has to because of these Oracles. Phoenix is moving out as well. Interesting. They won't be at home to defend. How many Stalkers? We have 6 Stalkers for Mana, so Cristiano here has almost double the Stalker count, but not really. And here comes a mass lift. Does force the defensive warp in. Does warp in defensively. Cristiano does poke forward. He does get at least a free shield battery and a pylon. Gets a shield battery released. Ooh, nice revelation. A better force field. Yeah, locks down the army. Cristiano trying to engage. Will focus down the Phoenix just barely. Phoenix goes down. Takes down the pylon as well. He's got another sentry. He has another force field. And nice force fields once again, just locking down Mana. As he does focus on 2 more Stalkers. 2 more Stalkers, another pylon. Mana, he's supply blocked. Stuck at 47. And again, Cristiano still keeps those Stalkers at home. And he expands. Cristiano is the first to expand. Mana moving in. Mana rotates into the main. Stalkers in position. Cristiano does hold. And Cristiano takes the lead. I believe Mana hasn't scouted. Yeah, he doesn't know. He doesn't know about the base. Oh, now he does. With the help of the revelation. Mana, he is aware. Does catch out a couple of probes. Takes down 2 workers. Is Cristiano trying to keep up? Mana does get away. And Mana, he needs to expand. He desperately needs to expand here. Mana has a higher probe count, but he has more inefficient mining. Mana actually going for his own immortal production. He's all in. Mana, he does not expand. Yeah, no expansion. Mana, he commits. Let's go. He is moving out. Mana is banking some reason. Nah, never mind. Going for the pylon. Does go for the pylon to make sure he's not supply blocked or he breaks out of it. Moves out across the map and it's all or nothing. Mana, he has 1 immortal. He has a couple of Stalkers. Nice force field. Yeah, it does force over the ramp. Mana rotating in. But he cannot. Yeah, he barely cannot. Oh, please out the immortal. Massive loss. But there was no room in the prism. No room. And Mana, he's running out of steam. Yeah, the all-in is falling on its face. Cristiano, he's here to force the ace match. He wants that game 5. Mana has to get the hell out of here. Does pull away. At the same time, Oracle's into the natural, but Stalkers are in position. This entire game, Cristiano, he's kept these Stalkers ready for this. The entire game. It's like, this is my moment. Takes out one of the Oracles. 1 Oracle left. Did I say 1? 0. Oh, never mind. 1 more volley would have been enough. 1 more Stalker. Oracle does survive. And Mana, I mean, Cristiano doesn't even have to push, to be honest. He does not have to push out like this. He's up at base. He can just chill. He can calm down, get a 3rd base, take his gases, work towards a Twilight Council, get into a forge. Cristiano, he doesn't have to break out like this, but he may as well. Does have a lead. He does know how close he is to breaking Mana. Nice concave out of mana, though. Again, Cristiano, he doesn't have to try to test his luck here. This is risky. Depending on the unit control, mana can still try to take a fight. Oh, please out Stalker. Okay. Better stop for Cristiano. Cristiano does take a third. Oh. Prism is going to be zoned away. And GG gets called. The writing is on the wall. And Cristiano, he will tap the series 2-2. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. We're going to the ace match. We're going to game 5 here. Again, a very intense game 4. Very clutch, very back and forth. Again, we saw that Cristiano was convinced there was a proxy across the map, so he tried to hard counter that. Alas, in the end, we saw that Mana did open up Oracle, did some decent damage. Cristiano, he was able to recover there. He himself turned his own opener into one base all in. He was able to walk up the ramp into the mineral line, get some critical damage. It was a crazy back and forth. In the end, Cristiano did recover. And with that, we're going for the ace match. We're going all the way to game 5. Let's go. That's all I ever wanted. Going to game 5. Here we go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Last Fantasy, we have our blue Protoss player. We have a blue Protoss. We have our Polish Protoss representing Team Liquid being forced into the ace match. We'll see if we can bring it back. We'll see if he can retake some of that momentum. It is Mana. As he has been one game away from qualifying for so long, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the other Polish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Offside Esports. It is Cristiano. Here we go. As we are settling in, and welcome to Last Fantasy. We have not casted on Last Fantasy in a long time. This is the most vetoed map in the map pool, and it's somehow gotten in. Okay. Let's go. I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. We do see Cristiano does scout on the right hand side. Also, welcome to the first 3-player spawn map in a very long time in the history of StarCraft Ladder. 3-player spawn map, and Cristiano, he will scout. He will confirm that Mana is not on the right hand side. We'll check top left. Mana, he is just now moving out himself, and he will gamble well. He will roll the dice. He will check bottom left first. Here we go. That's Cristiano now going up the ramp. 2-gate opener. And we're looking for the pylon. Looking for the setup. There we go. Second pylon for Cristiano. And second pylon for Mana. Here we go. For the first time in a couple of games, Mana, he doesn't hide a second pylon. We have a standard opener so far. Like as Mana also does confirm. Also does confirm. As Mana pokes in. Does poke in behind this Stargate opener. Once again, Mana's to Stargate before expansion. Does throw down his tech. Roby is going to be hunted down. And Cristiano should be looking to expand from here. Otherwise, tech would have already been thrown down. Here comes that hallucination. Cristiano, he does pylon block, but I mean, there's no base anyway. There's no expansion with that Stargate. Mana's been quite fond of his Stargate openers. We've seen them 3 times so far in the series. And Cristiano confirms. Does confirm the Oracle's on the way. Pylon is killed. Mana's moving out. Cristiano does have the faster expansion. This is a bold move out of Cristiano. He's here. He's ready for the Stalkers. He's looking to lock him down. Mana, he waddles up the ramp. Oh, he gets caught. Yeah, it does get caught in. Yeah, brutal force fields, and with that, he gets one. He gets both Stalker kills. Very nice because he will trade out a sentry for it. But nice catch from Cristiano. At the same time, Oracle into the main base. Meanwhile, shield battery's not done. Uh-oh. The shield battery is barely not done in time. Couple more seconds away. 2, 3, 4, 5 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. Again, a couple of seconds too late. That shield battery losing another probe. Brutal losses here for Cristiano. He doesn't really have much to work with. He has 2 Stalkers and a Sentry, but I mean, that's more than what Mana has. Nothing. Mana, he has nothing. That pylon should go down. We do have a pylon across the map. Cristiano, he reinforces. He's here to end the game. Ooh, denies the warp in. Warping gets denied. There's 1 Stalker left. Second Stalker's on the way. And Cristiano, can he end it here and now? Again, he has force fields. He can try to look down the army. Speaking of, he wants that Stalker. Yep, there we go. There's a force field. Stalker within range of the shield battery with bit of miscontrol. Yeah, bit of miscontrol there by Cristiano. He has to pull away. Does pull back, takes down the Stalker. 2 more Stalkers in production. Can he kill the natural? No shot. He does have another. He has another force field. There's a recall. He has another force field. The probes are recalled to low ground. Mana, he breaks out. Does break out. Does save the expansion. Nice move out of Mana. But once again, the force field locks down the Stalker. 2 Stalkers left. Cristiano, I think he's done it. Cristiano, he's done it at this point. There's 2 Stalkers remaining. Now up to 3. Oracle races back home as well. The Oracle races back home. More probes are going to be going down. Behind this Cristiano, he's on a 2-base setup. Oh, barely doesn't catch the Oracle. Barely not. Trades with the Stalkers. Down to 1. 1 Stalker left. And Cristiano, he's snowballing out of control. He was down 2-0, by the way. He was almost out 3-0. Jeez. Like, the game 3 was rough. It was a rough game 3. And Cristiano had a crazy comeback in game 3, and here we force it all the way to the ace match. Takes down the Nexus, takes down the pylon. Ay, ay, ay. And there's no sentry, no force field. Cristiano can just walk in. Just walk up the ramp. Takes down another Stalker. And another. And another. GG, well played. And Cristiano, he will take the series 3-2. Cristiano, he will qualify for the EWC EU closed qualifier. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations, Cristiano. He will claim the series. He was almost 3-0'd. I'll be honest here. Like, game 3 was a rough one. Remember, game 3 was the game where Cristiano, he misread the game. He thought it was a proxy. As a result, he was stuck on 1 base that much longer. He was down economically. He was down tech-wise as well. But he had Mass Wing Stalker, and he was able to outposition Mana. That was the game where Mana, he made the decision to go for the base trade. It was a rough decision to be made just because it was a late base trade. Cristiano, he was able to outposition Mana. Really patient play there by Cristiano, and the tenacity was insane in game 3, and that began the snowball. The dominoes, they fell one after the other, and Cristiano, he makes it. GG. GG. GG, well played. Cristiano, he does take the series, does qualify. Mana, I still stand by this. Mana, he's favored to make it through. He's favored to qualify for the closed qualifier, but not day 1. Not in the first open qualifier. Very tense, very close, very clutch series here. Did go the distance, but congratulations to Cristiano. And again, Mana, he will have another chance. Remember this, bear this in mind. There is a second qualifier. So don't worry. There is a second qualifier. There is a second chance. Whew. With that, GG. With that, GG, well played. And again, Cristiano, he does make it through. And now we have to figure out what the hell's going on. Where are we? Where are we headed? Let's go. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look back yourselves. Here we go. So catching up. This exclamation mark B. As we have a lot of catching up to do. Okay, from the top, we have Serral. Serral, he takes down Ledlix 2-0. Shameless takes down Blind 2-1. And we have Serral versus Shameless currently ongoing in a best of 5 qualifying match. So best of luck to Serral and Shameless. They are currently mid-series. Scoring down, Lambo. Lambo takes down Moja 2-0. Lambo takes down Laser 3-0. And Lambo, he has already qualified for the closed qualifier without dropping a single map. Strong showing there at Lambo. Strong showing. Does advance on, does make it through. Scoring down, we have Spirit. Spirit, he takes down Solicitus. And who was that opponent? 3-0. I don't know who that was. but a barcode or like a barcode name to take down Jumi 2-1. That's a big result. That's a big win. I don't know who Jumi played against, but that was a crazy result there. In the end, Spirit also qualifies for the main event. He qualifies, sorry, say for the main event, for the closed qualifier. Spirit 3-0 over that opponent. I don't know who that was, but if anyone knows, I'd love to find out. It might be on Wikipedia. Meanwhile, Gabe is up against Geralt. They're currently mid-series. Oh. Yeah, they're currently mid-series. They're currently in their best of 5 in their qualifying match. Going down, Reynor. Reynor takes down Young Yakov 3-0 to qualify for the closed qualifier. Reynor not dropping a single map either. Of course, Cristiano also makes it through to qualify for the closed qualifier. ShoWTimE takes down Goblin 3-0. Again, some of these bigger names, they have more one-sided series. This is the reason why we did specifically focus on this portion of the bracket. Again, we know what we want, Pat. We know what we want. The reason why we avoided like Lambo and some of these other players like Spirits, like Reynor as well, is that a lot of these matches are 3-0s. So far, we're the only one that covered the best of 5 that went all the way to the ace match. We know what we want. We know what's solid. But scrolling down, we have Skillless and Milky Cow. Milky Cow takes down Strange 2-0. That's a spicy one as well. Okay. So, okay, we have a couple of matches. So we have Skillless versus Milky Cow. We have Gabe versus Geralt. So 2 TVPs. And we have Serral versus Shameless, a ZVP. So we have 3 qualifying matches remaining. 3 matches remaining. Here we go. Now, all 3 matches are currently mid-series. Hold on, I'll clean up my in-game list. Clean up my list. So we have the Skillless series, we have the Shameless series, and we have the Geralt series. Okay. So all 3 of those matches are currently in-game. I don't know if they're in Game 1, Game 2, or Game 3. Actually, we can find out. I believe Enki and Cosmos and Rotterdam and Indy, and there's a lot of coverage. A lot of coverage out there. Enki, he is casting... I think Enki is casting Big Gabe. No, sorry. Cosmos. Cosmos, the Portuguese caster. Gabe is currently up 2-0. Gabe, he's currently up 2-0 against Geralt, so Cosmos is covering that series. Cosmos, he is the Brazilian caster, so shout out Cosmos. Near and dear to our hearts. Meanwhile, Rotterdam is covering Serral versus Shameless. They're in Game 1. Oh, they're a bit of a later series. Okay, so Serral and Shameless are in Game 1. Rotterdam is on that. Meanwhile, we do see that Enki is also in Serral versus Shameless. Okay. Is anyone casting Skillless and Moja? Sorry, Skillless and Milky Cow. Let's have a look here. Let's see, Indy and TKL. TKL's in the Serral series. Indy's in the Geralt series. Is if anyone in the chat knows, is anyone casting Skillless? Let's see. Let's have a look. Who am I missing? 3D Clan and Cabby Ray. And Fuser. Fuser should be covering Serral. No shot. Okay, that's crazy. I have confirmation. Skillless versus Milky Cow, they're currently in the ace match. They're in the ace match right now. They're tied 2-2. Oh my god. That's a banger. And unfortunately we missed it. Again, because they're in the ace match, that means that their game is going to wrap up regardless of what happens. But best of luck to Skillless and Milky Cow. That's crazy for them to go all the way to Game 5. Milky Cow is very cheesy. Milky Cow is very aggressive, so I'm sure some of those were very short games. But best of luck to Skillless. Best of luck to Milky Cow. May the best player win. Skillless, nah, he's got to lead. Yeah, Skillless, he's in a better position. It seems to be the case in Game 5. But that means that that's not an option to us. Okay. That means that won't be an option to us, in the sense that like we can't catch them now. So that means we only have 2 options. We have 2 options: Shameless versus Serral or Gabe versus Geralt. Okay. Hi. Meanwhile, shout out to Blakadoos. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Blakadoos for the bits. Thank you so much. Do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Yeah, so now there are only 2 series available to us. We are gonna set up for Serral versus Shameless. The reason for that is because Serral and Shameless are only in game 1, so we have confirmation that there are going to be more games. If I can slip into Gabe versus Geralt, I will, but it depends if Geralt can recover. Again, currently Gabe is up 2-0, so the pressure is on Geralt. Pressure is on. And again, that's being casted by Cosmos and Indy. Basilisk. Shameless is on Little Fairy. Okay. So tentatively, our next series is going to be... Our next series is going to be Serral and Shameless. I will set up for Gabe and Geralt though. Again, I would love to cast Gabe and Geralt, but if Gabe 3-0s, then I mean, what can we do? So best selected Geralt. Yeah, I'm giving him my energy. Gibch. Energy to Geralt. The cow, baby, the cow, crazy. Whew, oh boy. So yeah, so tentatively, we do have our next series ready for us. And I guess we're going to go on a break. We're going to be going on a short break here. Thank you so much for tuning in. And again, we're going to be back after this break. Take this time to get some snacks, to get some food, to get some water, drain your shelters, massage your marines. Also, bearing in mind, this is the second qualifier of the day. We previously caught up with the Asia qualifier. Now we just caught up with the European qualifier. After this broadcast ends, there's going to be the Americas qualifier. That's going to be in 3.5 hours. Not too long, but in 3.5 hours we will have the Americas qualifier as well. So this should be a break in between. There should be a couple hours break in between. I won't keep the stream on. The stream will go down once the EU qualifiers wrap up. I will not keep the stream on, but we'll be back for the NA qualifier. We'll be back for it. Meanwhile, it looks like game 1 just concluded. Looks like Serral is up 1-0. So Serral is up 1-0. And we're going to jump into game 2. Let's go. Yeah, everyone's coming in. Meanwhile, it looks like Skilless versus Milky Cow did just conclude. Just concluded. And who made it through? Hasn't been reported yet. We're stepping in. Stepping into the ring. Let's go. So we're jumping into game number 2. Again, game 1 was on a much larger map. Game 1 was on Incorporeal. And game 2 is now going to be on Tokamak, another one of these larger maps. Let's go. Here we go. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Tokamak, we have the Finnish Zerg player, the Red Zerg. With Red Zerg representing Basilisk, it is Serral. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have the blue Protoss, we have the blue Protoss himself, representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. Este user. Aye, aye, aye. But here we go. We are going to be settling in to game number 2. Let's go. Jumping into game 2. And against Serral, he does have that 1-0 lead. I like how no one responded to him as well. Aye, aye, aye. But if you're in the chat predictions, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as you can get your gamba going, as it is gamba time. As I wasn't quite able to, of course, get a read on what happened in the first game, outside of the fact that it was a relatively longer game state, I want to say. But we'll see what Shameless has in store for us this time. Again, Shameless, he's a really strong player. He has been growing a lot over the past year. Has been leveling up quite a bit, and it's a bit of a shame that there were some visa issues. For those who don't know, Shameless, he actually qualified for Star Zagora. He did qualify for the event. He was looking very strong, very powerful. But unfortunately, we did see, of course, that he couldn't get his visa sorted in time, and because of that, he had to forfeit his spot. And Geralt is going to be going to Star Zagora in his stead. So it is unfortunate that that did occur. But again, it also shows how good of a form, how strong of a player Shameless is. He's deserving to be a part of this qualifier, to be a part of this match, of course. And we'll see how he compares to Serral. Let's go. Let us go. And so for now, we do have our standard opener out of Shameless. Likewise, Hatch Gas Pool out of Serral. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. Pulls out of gas. Nothing out of the norm. Nothing out of the norm yet. It is going to be a Stargate opener. Shameless, he isn't really one to deviate too much. He is one to just embrace more standard play and go into Stargate, into a third, into +1 Blink Stalker. That's typically how he does approach things. He's not too cheesy of a player. Just isn't how Shameless is. Go the juice. Let's get juiced up. Juice box has been thrown down. Remember to stay hydrated, everyone. Remember to stay hydrated. As behind this Stargate opener here into Oracle, as to be expected. From here into a third base into +1 Blink Stalker, we could see Shameless deviate and skip his Forge and go into Glaives, or even going to +1 in Charge. Like, there are different ways to go about this, of course. Are different ways. The Gamba. Let's go. As Oracle moves out, so far the Queens are keeping up. They're zoning a Shameless away. Likewise, behind this, so we're getting ready for a Ling run by. Moving in towards the natural. Last ShoWTimE. Sorry, Shameless, he is in position. ShoWTimE? The next ShoWTimE. Shameless, he does pull away. Behind this, as we mentioned, Twilight Council and Forge, standard follow-up here out of Shameless. Send follow. Likewise, if they do shade towards the Mineral Alliance, they are going to be denied. Nice Eva Chamber block here by Serral. He comes in with a surround. Oh, the Fs are going to be locked down here. They did not get in. They did not get any damage. And aye. Nice defense here by Serral. Oracles, they move in. Queens are keeping up. And the Queens will zone away. Shameless, he's unable to dive in. So far, no real damage. He's gotten one drone so far. As he moves out, Lings a counterattack. But thankfully, Shameless is in position. He's in position. He will protect that third. He will maintain himself. Also, I'm looking over at Geralt versus Gabe, and they went into the late game, which, as you know, Geralt has some of the best late game PvT out there. And Geralt, he's taking it to Gabe. Let's go. Like, we've seen Geralt take down players like Kjorn and take down players like Bjorn. Specifically in the late game. That's where he's at his best. So it looks like that series will continue. Of course, we can't jump into that, as they're only just now opening up their match. But best of luck. Best of luck to Geralt. I'm hoping for the ace match there. And again, if you want to tune into Geralt versus Gabe, do check out Cosmos. Again, much love to Cosmos. He's our boy. Cosmito, baby. Cosmito. I mean, behind this, Shameless working towards Storm. Oh, poking in with the Stalkers. Stalkers do poke in. And we do see Serral just taking up. Serral, like, after the early game defense, he's able to drone up to 3-base saturation, now droning up even harder. We do have a tech on the way, Infestation Pits, in towards Hydra upgrades, in towards Hive Tech, in towards Lurkers as well. So we just see, oh my god, as Shameless does wander into the Hydras. That shouldn't have happened. But Serral, he's just securing himself and teching up in towards the Ideal, in towards Hydra Lurker Viper. The Lunkers are on the horizon. Meanwhile, Shameless, he has lost map control. He just lost map control. He's forced back home. He's lacking stasis traps. He does have Storm. He should be okay against this early game, or against this early push. But remember, Serral doesn't really intend to break his opponent. Serral, he's taking up Hive and Lurkers. As we did mention, he's taking up into Lunker Tech. Serral, he's looking to max out. He's on 90 workers. He's on 87 probes, or 87 drones. Serral has a booming economy. And Shameless is stuck at home. Shameless, for the time being, he's stuck at home. Now, there is a window in time. There is a window in time before Lurkers that Shameless can try to break Serral. True. He can try to break him before Lurker Tech. But that window is closing. That window is closing, and Shameless, I'm sure he's aware of it. He has to get something done across the map. Otherwise, he won't be able to. The other option here, if he fails to make use of this window of opportunity, Flea Beacon, Skytoss, Stargate, right? Like, if you're not going to be aggressive, if you're not going to break out, then we have to get ready for the late game. So we'll see what Shameless goes for. For now, he's going for a second Robo, so he's committing to a ground-based army. Again, welcome to Tokamak. Tokamak, you are secure on 4 bases. Your 4-base setup here is very secure, but it's about more than that. Oh, nice, very nice contamination. Contamination here on the Robo. Shameless pushing through the center. The problem with this push, it's too late. Like, the Lurkers are here. The Lunkers have already arrived. We spoke about that window, we spoke about that timing, and Shameless, he has missed it. He's missed that timing. Lings, they catch out the Archon, they catch out the Zealot. Shameless, he rotates over. Rotates over towards the third. As he rotates, Serral, he does hit the 4th base of Shameless. Shameless out of position, he has to commit. He's being forced all in. Being forced all in, he has to push into Lurkers. There's the recall. Recalls back to the 3rd, but the 4th base, it's going to go down. There's no saving this. The expansion does fall. Serral racing back. Also, I should say, Serral just chasing Shameless back. Serral is pushing forward. A couple Lurkers do overextend. Nice pick up. Getting a Lurker. Nice storm on the Lings. At the same time, though, it was just a distraction. It was just distracting here. As Serral does push in. And pushing in between the bases towards the natural. Nice storm on the Lurkers. Very nice storm. The storms are solid. But the supply just isn't there. The supply is not there. More Lurkers. They come in to reinforce. Serral still pushing through. Ooh, takes down all the Immortals. GG gets called. The army crumbles. And Serral, he will take a 2-0 lead in the series. GG. A very comfortable, very strong showing there by Serral. Again, Serral, he was just able to deal with the early game aggression very nicely. I'm talking about the Adepts and the Oracles. The initial harassment did not do enough damage. It isn't just that it didn't do damage, it wasn't preserved either. Because it wasn't preserved, there was nothing stopping. Oh. There was nothing stopping Serral from just taking on up and taking out. With that GG well played. Serral, he was able to be so greedy within that follow-up. He was able to just take up, build up, and from there snowballed out of control. GG well played. Serral is now one game away from qualifying for the closed qualifier. Again, Serral is one of those players that is favored to make it through and to maybe even win the entire tournament. Is favored for that. Shameless here to try to stop it. Let's go. Also have confirmation that Skilless did take down Milky Cow 3-2, went all the way to the ace match. Skilless did claim the series, so GG well played, very well done there by Skilless to claim that series. And that means we only have 2 qualifying matches left. And this is one of them. Let's go. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the Finnish Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg representing Basilisk. Oh, leading the series 2-0. And looking to qualify for the closed qualifier, it is Serral. And spawning in the bottom of the head corner, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Team Little Fairy down in the series. He's here to start that comeback. The pressure is on. I believe, Pappy, I believe it is Shameless. Let's go, Pappy, let's go. As Shameless, he's down, but he's not out. He's not out, not yet. Now, the problem here when it comes to trying to get a cheeky win against Serral is that, again, Shameless, he isn't really cheesy. Like, Shameless is not really a cheesy player. He's not really hyper-aggressive. He's not like Strange, for example. He's not like a Strange. He's not like a Hero or a Classic that are willing to be more diverse and more varied in their play and go into some crazy aggressive build themselves. Shameless isn't typically like that, but we'll see. That might change here and now. I suppose the Probit does dip in. Lurkers are so good. Lurkers are pretty good. They're pretty good. I mean, again, it's one of those things that we did mention that there was a window in time where you could, where Shameless could have tried to have been more aggressive against Serral, but he missed that window, right? He missed that window. He missed that timing. On top of that, the reason why Serral was able to drone up so quickly and tech up so quickly was because of the Oracles. The Oracles were killed early. The Oracles were caught out, and because of that, there was nothing to really slow Serral down. There was no presence on the map for Shameless. And if you have no pressure, you have no presence, then a Zerg player can just drone up to 90 and do whatever they want. Whether it's taking up into Lurkers or taking up into Ultras, or pick your poison. Player like Serral cannot be left alone to their own devices. But again, this is, I would say, a solid kind of a test of might here for Shameless, and I'm sure also a really good learning experience as well. For those who don't know, Shameless is a very young player. He's like 18/19 years old. He's very young. And again, he's one of the newer faces to the pro scene. He debuted last year, I should say end of 2023, coming into 2024. That's when he first started competing in tournaments, when he hit GM, and he rose through the ranks quite quickly here. I mean, I said before that, hey, he qualified for Stars Agora. He took down some big names to make it through and to qualify. Like, Shameless has been improving a lot. He's part of that, like, next generation of pro gamer. Like, I think of players like Shameless, GG Machine, Eba, Arrowfire. Oh, as the Adepts, they do make it out. They don't get many kills. Nice sport tricks out of Serral. Does save his drones. Adepts going to be forced back. Are forced back. You know, Shameless claiming his third base, opening up with the Oracle. Second Oracle's on the way behind this. As there's that Twilight Council out of our Protoss. A bit of an earlier Twilight Council is what I will say. Gateways are being thrown down, and we'll see if we throw down a Forge. So far, we do have a 4-gate setup. This does look like Glaive Adepts, not like +1 and Blink. No Adepts, they do shade behind the mineral line. Oracles, they bust in. 1, 2, 3 drone kills. 3 workers going down. And show us that upgrade of choice. What do you have for us? What do you got? Overlord's going to be hunted down. It's going to be a lair first out of Serral. Lings at the 3rd base. Oracle's out of position. They're racing back home. And it is going to be Blink, not Glaives. Meanwhile, the pylon is targeted down. That does target down the pylon. Lings, they pull away. They get 2 probe kills as well, so nice vehicles here by Serral. And likewise, you also saw the setup here. The lack of Forge tells me that this might be a 3-base all-in. We'll see. The longer this goes on without a Forge, the more committed this is going to be. We can throw down 3 gates at home, approximately 8th gateway across the map. But no, it's just going to be a late Forge, very late here, by Shameless. Ooh. Stalker gets surrounded. Serral, calm down. Gets a Stalker behind us playing safe, going into Roach production. So Ling Roach out of Serral, very safe. He's not cutting corners this time. Remember last game we went Ling into Hydra into Lurker tech. Here he's investing into Roaches. Bearing in mind that Shameless will finish Blink faster than normal. Shameless does move out. He has extra gateways as well. Shaving off some Lings, but Blink is still not yet done. Ooh, 1 Stalker goes down. Baits out the stasis. Stasis is baited. The Lings, they get across the map. Force Shameless back for a moment. Did force him back. More reinforcements on the way. How many gates are we on? 4. Still only 4 gates, by the way. I was expecting to see like a gateway explosion, but no, Shameless is staying on a very tame gateway count, now taking into Storm. He's being aggressive, don't get me wrong, he's applying pressure, but he's not all in. Not all in. Pulls away. Oracles are in position. They will shut down these Lings. Oh, I say that, but the Lings, they just pop off. They shut down the Stalkers instead. Yeah, the Oracles are just not able to support, not as well as they otherwise should. Those are brutal losses here. 8 Stalkers going down. Roaches have been amassing. Hive is on the way. +1 melee. Curious to see if we're going to Ultras from here, as I believe there is no Hydrogen. Ultras are a viable option. Shameless once again getting caught out, splitting out 2 more Stalkers. Behind this massive gateway explosion, no 4th expansion. By this point, there should be a 4th. Remember, Serral, he's getting a 5th. He's getting a 5th base. Shameless doubling down. And it looks like he's setting up for a 3-base all-in. Getting more gateways, getting into Storm. Very committed here. Now, this can succeed, don't get me wrong. Like, bearing in mind that Serral's running. Serral, he's running up to 80. Investing in the Hive, of course. Shameless expands. Never mind. Shameless does expand. A late expansion out of Shameless. Serral still being active. Serral rotating over. Knocking down the Adept. Doesn't quite break into the base. And we spoke about Ultra survival. There it is. Ultra Caverns on the way. Again, it makes the most sense just because there was no Hydrogen and we had melee upgrades. So Ultras are the most logical kind of follow-up. Ooh, that's a kill on a cancel. Again, Dark used to be really fond of Ultras in CVP. He would go Mass Ling into Ultra. He'd skip Roaches. He'd get a Roach Warren just in case, but would often just skip roaches and invest heavily and quickly into ultras. Serral is getting there a little bit later. It's a bit of like a safer kind of route to ultra tech. But ultras, they do a great job when it comes to tanking storms. They can just tank a bunch of storms to the face and of course mow through those chargelots. You know, we have attempted Sky Toss out of Shameless, but this does feel late. Does feel late. Serral going for the safety spire to deal with Sky Toss. Ultras are amassing. Serral, he's maxed out. Yeah, so far, oh my god, as that's going to be 16 probes going to be going down. Yeah, 16 workers, brutal losses, a Limbane coming from behind, can he get hold of the High Templar? Oh! Nice storms. Very nice storms here by Shameless. But that is still brutal losses here for the Protoss. Losing the Nexus. Losing the Mineral Line, ay ay ay. More Banelings rolling in. Oh no! Late reaction! Does pull away. Oh! Oh my god, does pull away in time. Still though, 19 workers do go down. Skyjust production has begun, getting into the Tempest, getting into the Mothership. But here come the Ultras. They're ready. Kindness plating is complete. He's got kindness plating. Soon to have Overlord, Ultra Speed as well. It's like metabolic synthesis, something like that. I always forget what it's called. Something like that. Anabolic synthesis. As Ultras do push in, they get on top of the High Templar against Storms. They do nothing against the Ultras. The Ultras, they like the Storms, Pappy. They like them. Oh my god. They collapse on top of the High Templar. 0 Storms left. And now Shameless, he's pinned. He's pinned in the Mineral Line, pinned up against the wall. The Ultras, they move their way through, and there's no way out of this. There's no escaping this. GG, good luck gets called. And Serral, he will take the series 3-0, qualifying for the EWC EU Closed Qualifier. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations, Serral. He will claim the series. He will advance on. My condolences to Shameless. Again, he did a great job making it this far in the qualifier. Shameless, of course, he is the underdog coming into this. Serral is the best Zerg player in the world. You don't get better than Serral. So it was not going to be an easy one, but regardless, GG, well played. Congratulations here, Serral. He will make it through. Shameless, again, best of luck to Shameless in future tournaments, in future events. Big fan of Shameless, and he has been improving as a player quite steadily over the past year, and I'm sure will continue to improve as well. GG. GG, well played. With that, I believe we have our final qualified players. From the top, let's go. From the very top here. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look back yourselves. Again, when it came to the previous game, we saw that Shameless, he was just, unfortunately, he was stuck on a low base count for a really long time. His 4th base was delayed, and he wasn't really able to supplement that with any kind of early aggressive timing. He was applying pressure, but it was only pressure. He was taking up heavily behind it. He delayed his own bases, and Serral was able to get a boosted economy quite quickly as a result. He was just playing safe, defended back at home, and did it well. GG. GG, well played. With that, from the top, we have Serral. Serral, he does take down Shameless 3-0. Does take him down 3-0. Does qualify for the closed qualifier. Lambo, if you recall, Lambo did also take down a Laser 3-0 as well. So Lambo also making it through. So we have Serral, we have Lambo, we have Spirit. Spirit takes down his opponent. I wasn't quite able to confirm who that was. Hold on. Just double checking. Oh, that was Nicorakt. Oh, there you go. Nicorakt took down Jimmy, and Spirit took down Nicorakt in a TVT. Went 3-0 in favor of Spirit. But regardless, a very nice result there by Nicorakt to make it that far. Scrolling down, we had Reynor. Reynor, he qualifies over Young Yakov 3-0. Cristiano qualified over Mana 3-2. We had ShoWTimE qualifying over Goblin 3-0, and we had Skilless qualifying over Milky Heart 3-2 as well. Did I gloss over the game score? There it is. There, Gabe over Geralt. We have confirmation. They already wrapped up. Gabe did qualify over Geralt 3-1. There was a bit of a back and forth there. Shout out to Geralt for flexing his late game for that one game, but Gabe does take it in the end. And now we have concluded the European qualifier. There we go. 2 down. 2 down, 1 more to go. Again, for those that are unaware, I do recommend the VODs. We did cast the Asia qualifier earlier today. Now we just wrapped up the European qualifier, and in a couple of hours time, we're going to be live with the Americas qualifier. Let's go. To feature the Latin American players, to feature the Americas players as well, featuring players like Estrella, featuring players like Dolan, Vindicta, Epic. We should be seeing Future alongside them, potentially Scarlet as well. Hype, definitely hype. A lot of the Latin American players, hoping to see some Chem action, hoping to see some maybe Juanito as well, some Davito, some Crown. Definitely looking forward to it. Eric, we'll see if Eric is going to be a part of that. Best of luck, best of luck. Do hope to see our players take part, but that's going to be in 3 hours, in 3 hours time, so we have 3 hours to calm down. Also, I did see that in TikTok someone did ask me, how many eggs did you get? I did get 2 eggs. I did get 2 eggs. It was tasty, baby. It was tasty. To get we were discussing, I did get some noodles, some ramen in between casts, in between Asia and Europe, to get 2 eggs. But with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We are now wrapped up with the first Open Qualifier. Now, if you see a player here that you're a fan of that didn't qualify or didn't show up, like Baby Marine, for example, or like Mana, who barely didn't make it through, some of these other players, then do not worry, because there is another qualifier. Remember, there are 2 qualifiers. 2 open qualifiers are available. So in a couple of days' time, we will have, I say a couple of days' time, I believe tomorrow is going to be the second qualifier. So they will have another chance to make it through, to be a part of the main event, of the closed qualifier, I should say. I keep saying main event. But yes, tomorrow in 24 hours, we have a qualifier number 2. So, of course, we're going to be there. Again, we are casting every single qualifier. We're covering the Asia qualifier, the Korean qualifier, the Americas qualifier, and the European qualifier as well. Again, that's what we do here on the CranKy Ducklings. We cast every single qualifier because we cast everything. All things CranKy Ducklings here. If you enjoyed the broadcast, if you want some more CranKy Duckling action, then we got you covered over on the social, or over on YouTube, exclamation mark YouTube in the chat. We do stream on multiple platforms. We stream on TikTok, we stream on Facebook, we stream on Kick, we stream on YouTube, we stream on Twitch, but YouTube is a place to be for VODs. VOD action is over on YouTube, so check us out on YouTube for that VOD content. It's all going to be there, available to you then and there. Again, because we cast so often, I mean, I don't blame you if you can't watch everything live, so the VODs are the place to be. Bam. As we have a look at our schedule this week, you get to, God, I have to laugh when I see this. This is our schedule. Now, usually we cast twice a day. Which is already more than everyone else out there in StarCraft. But for the EWC qualifiers, we're casting like, what, 3-4 times a day at times? Like, it's very intense. It's very jam-packed. I would like to cast more, actually. There is a bit of a scheduling conflict for those who do not know. I believe the Asia closed qualifier is clashing with one of the Korean Open qualifiers. I think it's the second Korean Open qualifier. So there is unfortunately a clashing schedule between some of the EWC qualifiers themselves, which happened last time, by the way. It shouldn't be happening, but it is. I'm shaking my head. So it's unfortunate that there is a little bit of clashing scheduling there. So we do have to pick and choose. The Korea qualifier starts first, then the Asia qualifier is afterwards. We're going to start with the Korean qualifier and then continue with the Asia qualifier. But as you can see here, we have plenty of content here on the channel. We just wrapped up with our Thursday morning broadcast of the European qualifier number 1 at 1 AM KST. Then we have the Americas qualifier number 1 at 7 AM KST. Then we have, again, Thursday evening, we have the second Asia Open qualifier. Then we have EU qualifier number 2, Americas qualifier number 2, and then Korea qualifier number 1 is going to be there. And that's where you can see the scheduling conflict on Friday. You can see that the Korea qualifier number 1 starts at 6 PM KST, and the Asia qualifier starts at 7 PM KST, 1 hour later. So we're most likely going to begin with the Korean qualifier, and then once we wrap up, again, the Korean qualifier should be a short one, should be a short qualifier. Once we wrap up with that, then we switch over to the Asia closed qualifier mid-cast or mid-bracket. Again, this has happened before. This happened the last EPT, the last season of EPT. Same thing happened. And we also did the same thing where we started with Korea, and then of course we got into. I think last time we cast like maybe 2 or maybe like 1 Asia qualifying match. It was a shame. Like, I felt really bad that we weren't able to cast more of it, but you know, the schedules did clash. I think it happened last EWC, yeah, last year's EWC qualifiers. Meanwhile, then we have the closed qualifiers for Americas, for Korea, for Europe, all throughout the weekend. We have the May Mayhem. The May Mayhem has been rescheduled. Those are going to be the playoffs. The May Mayhem is going to be featuring players like Clem, MaxPax, ShoWTimE, and Hero. Of course, Clem doesn't have to worry about the qualifiers. MaxPax doesn't have to worry about the qualifiers either. So the May Mayhem has moved to accommodate for the qualifiers and is going to be in between the Europe and Korea qualifier on Sunday. So we have the May Mayhem, and of course we end the entire week with the Korean qualifier on Sunday as well. Now, you might be noticing something here. No GSL casts. GSL is taking place this week, but because we are busy with EWC, we will be casting the GSL qualifiers next week. So we're going to be casting the qualifiers next week. Bear that in mind. Sorry, the qualifiers. We're going to be casting GSL next week. Bear that in mind. We're going to be casting Season 2, Group A and Group B. That's going to be at some time next week. So we have all that scheduled, all that ready. So don't you worry. We will keep you covered there. Also, because of so much EWC, we had to postpone the podcast. So this week, there is no podcast. If you're curious, what is the podcast? That is our weekly podcast, our StarCraft 2 podcast, where we go over all the news, all the tournament results, all the adjacent news, all the interviews, everything, all the player roster changes as well. All things StarCraft we cover during the podcast. That is a weekly talk show, but not this week because we're completely full. But next week we'll have, I guess, like an extended edition where we catch up on 2 weeks worth of news instead of 1 week worth of news. It's going to be a long podcast. There's going to be a lot to go over, especially with all these qualifiers and with DreamHack to talk about as well, and with GSL Season 1, so, and GSL Season 2. So there's going to be a lot to discuss in next week's podcast, because it's going to be 2 weeks worth of news instead of 1 week worth of news. So it's going to be a jam-packed episode. So yeah, consider following us. Again, follow us here on YouTube, or sorry, on Twitch or on YouTube or whichever preferred platform. We also do, again, we also do post whenever we go live on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Join us on Discord. We do post there as well whenever we go live. We also provide some, we also provide benefits to our subscribers over on Discord. We do have replay packs from events that we have permission to share. So we do have replay packs available there for you as well. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. You can also support us on Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon is designed to fund our tournaments. Bam, you can see them right here for you. We do host 3 events on a regular basis. Sea Duckling Open, Sparkling Tuna Cup, and Masters 1 Open as well. They're all funded by the Patreon. 100% of the money on Patreon goes towards those tournaments, so you can help us fund them, help us grow them, and help us support the players and StarCraft as a result. So you can help us there if you wish. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Again, we're going to be back in 3 hours. We'll be back in 3 hours' time with some more StarCraft. We'll see you then. We'll see you then in 3 hours. Otherwise, stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who is live? Who is live at the moment? Who can we raid? Who can we send everyone over to? Let's see. Sal. I haven't seen Sal stream in a long time. Sal is live. Who else is live? We'll most likely raid Sal, unless I find someone else. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Oh, I see Bratok is live. Mindo VK is live. Yo, much love to Mindo. Much love. SC2 Fool. Shameless. Oh, Shameless. He was streaming his POV. If Shameless is gonna keep laddering, then I might raid Shameless. Just to give him some love for playing and for competing. It's not easy going up against Serral. It's not easy. But with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching again. We'll be back in 3 hours' time with some more StarCraft. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks so much for the donation. We don't really get many donations on the channel, I'll be honest. We don't have like a bar with like a donation goal or anything, so donations are quite rare here. But thank you so much. Hinterlist IG. Thank you so much for the $10. Thank you. We appreciate it. Yeah, donations are rare here, so we always appreciate it for the support. Thank you. Here we go. With that, thanks for watching, though. With that, thanks for watching. This is support, and we'll see you guys next time. Ciao, bye, ciao. See you next time. We'll see you in 3 hours, I should say. Not even. See you in 3 hours, or whenever we tickle your fancy, as we're going to be live at all times. So we'll see you next time. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, bye, ciao. Hasta luego.